Right, I think we can all safely agree that yesterday's video didn't happen. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. We never got to the FA Cup semi-final. Our players didn't have to refund all the fans their tickets at a cost of £350,000. And we only went to Wembley once this year and it was successful, so we're all positive. We now play our final 2 games of the season and start planning for what's going to be a big summer. Hello and welcome to part 130 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final 2 games of the Premier League season. We're away against Manchester United and at home against Chelsea. We're already just about secured 10th place in the league. It's unlikely we're going to move up or down from that 10th place spot. Nothing happened since you were last with me. We didn't go to Wembley. There was no FA Cup semi-final. Things ended, that's where we are, and everything's still looking good. The last 4 matches, don't remember them. They never happened. So let's get straight into the matches. We are rotating a little bit as I continue on my quest to work out where we need to strengthen. We're really looking at what we've got in the way of strength in depth. I'm not going to worry about rotating the keeper because I know we need a new keeper and Horvat can sit on our bench. But everywhere else is pretty much up for grabs, and we want to kind of have a look at the whole of the squad over the course of these 2 matches. So starting up away against Manchester United, we're going with Horvat in goal, a back four of Pagano, Noble, Sands and Wells Askew, Van der Horst again playing as a defensive midfielder as we continue to decide if he's the future of that position for us. Samuel and Torres together in midfield. I don't remember the last time I picked a midfield without Bishop in it. Can such a thing exist? And then Manu behind Kano, partnered by Matondo. This might be the final time you see Chadney Matondo. I've got my eye on yet another new striker for the summer. Matondo's already only our 4th choice. I'm probably going to move on Matondo and Steer. Traore wants to leave. Sir Anthony Harris probably wants to leave. Semic Powell wants to leave. We're going to have a little bit of a shake-up with our strikers and probably go into next season with Kano, Adrio, Botella, +1, who I'd like to think will be better than everything we've got at the moment. Thinking Brazilian wonder kid territory. But Matondo might put in a world-class performance against Manchester United now and change my mind. We've not really used him this year. He was one of our top scorers last year. This season, with the influx of Spanish players at the club, he's not really got the opportunity to show me that he still deserves to be around. But he's 25 now, so we can't really describe him as a youngster with potential anymore. Matondo needs to prove to me in this match that he's a Premier League quality player right now. Otherwise, I suspect he might be another in the long line of players in the Dwight Gale mould. I could probably list more. Jordan Rhodes, Nathan Ellington, was he another one? Players, that's going back a bit. Players who score absolute hatfuls of goals in the Championship, but try as they might, they're just not quite Premier League players. And I think Matondo is probably another one of them. And he deserves to go and play in the Championship and be a hero somewhere, because he was a hero for us for a long time. Manu's just put us 1-0 up against Manchester United with his 10th goal of the season, which is, that'll do. If we could end things there. I think Manu got an early goal against Manchester United both of the previous 2 times we've played them. We seem to be doing okay against the Manchester teams. Really, it's the London teams that ruin us a little bit, plus East Anglian teams that we don't want to talk about. Manchester United have fallen off the boil a little bit as well. Since we got a draw with them earlier on in the season, they were like 4 or 5 points clear at the top of the league when we held them to a draw, and it seems to have ruined their season a little bit. They've got to beat us to be in with a chance of winning the league, but even then, it's a bit of a long shot. We're then playing against Chelsea on the last day, and we'll almost certainly lose against them. It's nice having the title, the outcome of the title race in our hands, almost, but we're probably going to lose against both of them. Imagine if we beat them both and handed the title to Tottenham. After all the dissing of Tottenham I've done over the years, for no apparent reason. I still haven't. My favourite football manager team I've ever managed was Tottenham, but I think that's why I pick on them, because they'll never be as good as the Ruben Iribarren Tottenham team I managed. But we have the opportunity to hand them a league title. The only problem is we're probably not good enough to do it because we're conceding goals like that, these are the last days of Horvat in goal for us. It's going to be interesting to see how much budget we get for the summer. I'm already talking about bringing in a good striker, but I have no concept of what we're going to get. I think we got about £60 million last summer, but we've made a much smaller profit this year because we've been operating on a much larger wage budget. I'd like our wage budget to go up again, which means we perhaps won't get as much spensies, but we've got European football. But they usually don't take that into account until the following year. So I'm thinking it's quite possible we'll only get a budget in the region of £25-30 million this summer, which by the time we've bought Pagano for 13 million, which I've already pretty much made up my mind I'm doing, and then replaced Horvat in goal, which is going to cost 10-15 million, we might not be in a position to bring in another striker. That's why we need to have a little bit of a clear out. But I do wonder if the likes of Matondo are going to fetch us any kind of money. I mean, Matondo 2 years ago, absolutely, you'd get £10 million for him. Matondo now, he did get 12 Premier League goals last season, but he's not really played this year. I don't think we're getting £10 million for him now. I don't think we're getting £3 million for him now. I think it's going to be... I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those deals where he goes for very little and we end up having to pay a contribution of his wages. And there's going to be a few of them in that category. So I need a big transfer budget, but I don't want to ruin the club. I would hate to get a reputation as somebody who overspends and ruins football clubs. That would just... I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself if people thought that of me. My word. Right, let's get ourselves back into this game. We've actually been fairly evenly matched with United so far. If it wasn't for our incompetent goalkeeper and dodgy defending at times, we'd be doing all right. Matondo's in behind here. That is a lovely pass across to Kano. Kano gets his 16th goal of the season. Huge credit to Matondo there. Manu with the great pass to release Matondo in the first place. But this is just lovely awareness of what's going on around him from Matondo. And he's in behind but knows he's got too far to run. And it's a perfect pass into the path of Kano. Kano has got better and better as the season's gone on. We've actually given him a new contract fairly recently. He's earning £78,000 a week now, but he's in the process of doing a Mick Powell, I think. My coach report on him says he will be a leading Premier League striker in his future. So he's brilliant now. He's only going to get better, and he could be the kind of player that the big boys might be after. So absolutely we want to build an attack around Kano and Manu, and then just somebody to complement the two of them, whether that's Adrio, whether that's somebody new. Van der Horst now with the corner, and I don't even know who headed that down. Who was that at the far post? Noble maybe? Van der Horst again with another corner, and this time doesn't beat the first man, and we've won the ball back in there, and it's with Matondo, and I mean he's tackled from behind now. I know they win the ball, but I've seen penalties given in Football Manager for that. Matondo's done brilliantly again there. Perhaps I'm written off Matondo too soon. Pagano with the cross. Matondo gets on the end of it, and Matondo has just finished off a move that he started himself. Maybe I have written this man off too soon. Matondo does absolutely brilliantly here. I think he knows he's playing for his future. But what a pass across to Pagano, and then to get onto the end of it as well. Well, this is giving me something to think about. Maybe we don't need to bring in a fourth striker. Maybe we just need to use Matondo, which we just haven't done this year. It's been Kano, Adrio, Steer's been getting game time. I think we need to give up on the Ollie Steer experiment. That didn't work. But even like Harris has been in the team ahead of Matondo. Traore's been getting game time ahead of Matondo. I don't think Traore's ever scored a goal for us. But Matondo's been very, very good today. United are just scoring more than us, though. We're so poor at the back. And the thing is, we've got a very solid back four. So I'm giving the full blame on Horvat. Horvat was the keeper we needed at the time we brought him in 18 months ago. I think we'd have got relegated without him, but we're not in a relegation battle anymore. We're a team who are trying to push on to that next level. We're playing in Europe next year, and I don't think that we can have Horvat in goal for a European run. Right, we made a couple of changes there. Who have we got on the bench? Brown, I'm already finished with. I think Steer, I'm already finished with. I guess Botella is the one to bring on now, because I'm basing having him in my 4 for next year on that one appearance off the bench in a cup game. But maybe he's not as good as I think he is. So I think we probably need to get him on for the last... Let's give him 15 minutes against Man United. We're going to bring him on for Kano. And we want him... He can be the complete forward. And that allows us to make Matondo an advanced forward. Let's see what Botella and Matondo are like together. So, Van der Horst. Maybe if 3 at the back is another option. If we're that poor at defending and we've got these good defenders, perhaps I shouldn't be messing around playing Van der Horst as a defensive midfielder. Just play 3 centre-backs. 5-3 now. Oh, dear. We're not very good at the back, are we? Yikes. Who am I blaming here? I mean, who's that? Riviere. Riviere's still not fully fit, so I refuse to lay the blame at him. I'm blaming Horvat. I'm just going to keep blaming Horvat. Chelsea have just come back to the top of the league. It looks like United, despite thumping us, are out of the title race with a game to go because of whatever Chelsea just did. Chelsea have gone ahead in their game. So now, playing Chelsea on the last day, if they beat us, they win the league. If we beat them, we set things up for Tottenham. Man United are absolutely getting revenge on us for what happened in the League Cup final. This is... These have been some reality checks in the last couple of episodes. Oh dear. I thought we were close to a team that could break into the top 6. Now I'm thinking, add Europa League football to this mess, and oh my word, next season's going to be a challenge. I'm far from pleased with what I just saw. Everyone's switched off. Oh wow. Let's go and play Chelsea. I know I said I wasn't going to mess around with the goalkeeper. I'm messing around with the goalkeeper. Montebello can come in and play a final game for us. I think we're moving both these keepers on this summer. But Montebello can play because Horvat I'm just fed up with after that game against Manchester United. Other changes, I mean, I cleared this team off. I don't even know who the changes are. Bogdan wasn't in the last game. Neither was Taylor. Steer's going to come in and play with Matondo one more time. I think they're the only major changes, but these are the last couple of people I wanted to have a look at. Bogdan, I think we're probably done with. Taylor, I know I've said in a recent episode, don't write him off, but I don't know, he'll probably get another chance, but I'm on the verge of writing him off because but then he's only started 3 games. Ollie Steer, we persisted with for a long time. I really think I am done with Ollie Steer at this point. Only started 13 games this year, but still. Let's see how he is today. Ollie Steer, how old are you now? He's been with us 5 years, 23 years old now. I think the Ollie Steer ship has sailed. Bogdan as captain today. He's probably played less than 20 games for us. Matondo's just... What? Huh? Sands, who's probably going to be captain for years to come, doesn't get it either. Right, team talk. Let's passionately say it has been a fantastic season for us. Remember, I've been negative in this episode so far. You might have noticed. But remember, we were favourites for relegation again. The board asked us to fight bravely against relegation. The media predicted we'd go down. We've been safe for 8 games, probably longer. We've won the Europa League. We've won the League Cup and qualified for the Europa League. This has been another incredible season of overachievement, regardless of what happens in this game. But I really enjoy spoiling Chelsea's fun and handing the title to Tottenham. So let's do that. Then I would argue if we beat Chelsea today, we're probably joint champions with Tottenham. I think that's how it works. So Matondo on the right-hand side finds Ollie Steer. Steer couldn't get hold of the ball, but Kyle Taylor does. And there's his first ever goal for home. I said I was on the verge of writing him off. Well, Kyle Taylor's just got a goal against champions-elect Chelsea. And that is exactly what I mentioned I was looking for from Taylor. I think in yesterday's video, different kind of attacking midfielder to Manu. He's quick and he will get in those spaces that the front two create for him. And he's a finisher. And he's just scored a goal for us to prove all of those things. There's an argument that Manu and Taylor could probably both play together with a Kano or an Adrio ahead of them, if we don't end up finding this elusive fourth striker after this summer, if we go into next season with just the three, Taylor and I was writing Taylor off 2 minutes ago. Now I'm saying let's build the team around him next year off the one goal against Chelsea. But I like shadow strikers. I like attacking midfielders who are going to burst through late like that and grab goals. They make me very happy. But I wouldn't want to play him ahead of Manu. So if he does start to look like he's going to fulfil some of his potential, we have to find a way to get him in the same team. We just got a coach report through about Manu saying he's in the process of doing a Mick Powell. He's going to be a leading Premier League attacking midfielder when he's done. So we've now got Kano, Manu and Sands, who are all on course to become leading Premier League players. We're starting to put a team together here. Chelsea is still top of the league despite the fact we're ahead against them. Tottenham are bottling this as it stands. They're drawing away against Brighton. I mean, it's just not even the Tottenham way to bottle a trophy right at the last minute like this. But who knows? That might be what's happening. Look, Tottenham fans, I know you don't like me, but I could be about to hand you a league title, so you got to cut me some slack. I'm allowed to wind you up a little bit if we end up doing our part. But it's Chelsea have just scored, although the referee seems to be calling for a video review, and it's been disallowed. That's 2 disallowed goals for Chelsea today now. It's not so much us opening the door for Tottenham as VAR is opening the door for Tottenham today. Right, Bogdan can come off. Bishop can come on. Bogdan, I'm done with. Ollie Steer, I'm done with. Adrio can go up with Matondo. Matondo can go back to being an advanced forward. So that's a couple of players who this episode has been beneficial for my thought process with the likes of Steer and Bogdan. Taylor has taken the opportunity. Matondo's taken the opportunity. Those two, not so much. Van der Horst, I think I've learned enough to know that he's not going to be a defensive midfielder for us. Apparently Turner can play there. Let's give Turner a go. Can you be a half-back? No, they both seem better suited as defensive midfielder, even though all logic tells me they should play as half-back. Chelsea now matching us up with a diamond of their own. I don't think they've been doing that all along. Turner's another one, actually. I probably should have given Turner more game time, because when he first arrived 2 years ago, he was a regular starter for us in the Premier League, and I thought he was going to be a proper star of the future for us. He's now very much our fourth choice centre-back, and he's probably a little bit older than Sands and Van der Horst. So Turner might be another one that we look to move on as we try and generate spensies. I'm talking about getting rid of all these fringe players. If we get a transfer budget of £70 million in a minute, I ain't letting any of them leave. We've got a Europa League campaign to plan for. If we have a big budget that means I can bring the players that I want in without having to sell, I'd much rather do that. But I'm kind of working on the assumption that we're going to get a much smaller budget this time around, so we're going to have to sell in order to buy. But I guess we're going to find that out in a minute. Tottenham are now top of the league. Thank you. You are welcome, Tottenham. I have just single-handedly won you the Premier League. I expect lots of thank yous from Tottenham fans down in the comments. Everything I've ever said about you is now null and void. We are even. We're buds again. We've just handed Tottenham the Premier League title. Is that the first time in the save they've won it? No, they won it last year as well, so it's probably not quite as impressive. Of course, they've got that striker who scores all the goals, haven't they? But there you go. We just won Tottenham the Premier League. We're nice like that. Right, we've got budgets. Our budget's through yet. I like the fact that we've actually managed to pick up a win on the last day as well, so we're not carrying that horrible form into the closed season. Doing what we've just done to Chelsea there makes me believe again. I don't want to go and manage Chelsea. What a joke. £26 million we've been paid for finishing 10th. So there's a lot of money in the bank again. The reason we're over our wage budgets is because I've already got a player coming in, a winger, Francesco Grassi, 21-year-old German under-international winger. Under 21 international winger. He's a very good winger. He's free. I don't know if we'll use him or just loan him out to try and make a profit with him. But it seems silly not to pick him up for free when I noticed him on my scout reports. But what we want now is transfer budgets. Here we go then. We reveal what our budgets are. Anything over 50 million and I'm happy. Anything under 30 million and I'm a little bit worried. So I think it's going to be somewhere between those two. £78 million. This is going to be another very interesting summer. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.